Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. You probably know that I'm fairly new to this YouTube podcasting and videoing, but it's also something I really feel guided to do, and I'm part of a team. A lot of that team is much more proficient at this, but also very unique, very beautiful and diverse. And here I find myself, and I can hear my children saying, particularly my youngest girl, she would be saying, "Mum, come on, get with the times." And I really want to pay it forward. As uncomfortable as this might be, and as clunky, and as I'm really just beginning, I'm learning. And I've tended to stay away from the social media and all of that. Yeah, what if someone's out there? What if you who are listening, what if you feel something? What if you remember something? What if the energy that I share, just this space, just this connecting, and what if I say something that touches you, that moves you, that wakes you up? How wonderful is that? I don't want to miss out on that. I don't want to be that spiritual miser who, because I'm not so proficient or so into the video sharing, what if this is the only way I can reach you? What if this is the only way that someone out there, that anyone out there is listening and is waiting and is searching and is seeking? And my kids would say, get with the times, get with the times. And so here I am, and I feel sure that I will get much better at this. And it is a lot of fun, and it's very challenging as well. As I shared in my last little video about our attitude and our focus, what we focus on, what we give our energy to, we create, we experience. I'd like to follow on with that a little bit. I was reviewing and just feeling into feedback from what I shared with you guys. Was something very simple, doing the dishes, and it was like, oh, simple, boring, what's that got to do with anything in particular? I just wanted to share that very simple example to be able to apply that to other areas of your life. And I had this experience with one of my lovely students, and I'd like to say hello to my lovely students who do watch this and do smile at seeing me fumbling along with the technology and with being able to speak and share on the video. And so I'm really grateful for their support and their kindness and their love. And it was in one of our sessions, this lovely student of mine, she has heard me say it a lot, and they've heard me say all this stuff before. Anyway, she watched the video where I was talking about changing should to could. And she showed up to our session very challenged with something that was really weighing her down. She felt really bothered by. So she's sharing this with me, and it's should, and I should do this, and I should be better at this, and I should. And she suddenly realized that, okay, let's change that should to could. And as soon as she went, I could, she realized how she was just being a victim to these things in her life that were just things, that was just how her judgments and what she was saying she had to be and do, trying to be something for others, trying to please everybody to the detriment of loving the self. What we get back to, of course, is loving the self in most of the moments, and breaking down and really working with our foundational processing. We do get to that baseline. A healthy self-esteem is the the self-love, loving the self to be selfless. So she had all this pressure on herself, all this, I should do this and I should please this person and please this person, and she felt like she's being stretched and she was giving away all of her limbs to try and please these people, and it was all full of shoulds. And we just in that moment went, okay, let's change that. Could. And suddenly she felt it back in her hands, and she started to see, oh, pleasing all these people isn't really her role, and isn't even in some cases not even any of her business, but to really first and foremost come from within. Anyway, it was lovely to see and experience this person just working with that simplicity, and see how it really shifted her energy, shifted her whole experience, and really she brought it back to herself and back to what would love do and what's the highest love here. And it was just that simple. It was really lovely to see that, although my example was with the dishes, just as an example, we can apply it to so many areas. Where are we doing the should? Where are we giving our power away to something outside of us, to what we feel we should be doing or how we should be for others? Just to really look at that. So that was really heartening to experience that. So very grateful to have that experience. In my opening introduction, I did share a little bit about being sensitive child, in my case severely introverted, really challenged, and coming from that space. And I spoke about, I have a very rich inner reality, and I may touch on that occasionally when it's necessary and when it can be part of the example and part of what I'm sharing as a context and perhaps as some remembering. But I'm not going to really fluff on or make that such a big focus. And I mention it because there's a lot of gifted people out there, a lot of people with gifts and abilities. And the most important thing is basically what I'm going to be sharing, is not these gifts and abilities and all of the vision and all of that, where it's relevant, of course, yes. That will come in so that you may have an example and may have a context to relate with that. The biggest and most important thing is to be so present, so grounded, and all these fancy gifts and abilities and vision and insight and all of that isn't useful unless we are present, unless we are really grounded and working on the psychological clarity. So I'm so grateful to really find this group where their key focus is in the personal and spiritual growth. Their key focus is psychological clarity, and it's just been the saving grace for me. It's been a way that I can be here and to share, however clunky and still learning. Yet to really have that experience, and that's what I want to share. I want to share the importance and the simplicity of the foundations and of our really basic clearing and being present and healthy self-esteem and healing from the challenges we face, from the wounding, from childhood trauma and all kinds of challenges just in life, living life and life happening. When we are so sensitive, affected by others, by the energy around us, by the environment, and feeling the harshness of that, and also the beauty of that, and how all of that's so interrelated. So mostly, although I could share a lot of interesting things with you from my really rich inner reality, I want to share what's important and what's going to be so helpful and the most helpful that has helped me and that I see working with people, how it helps them. And I'm looking forward to this journey and to the simplicity of it and the unfoldment of the wonder and the beauty and the simplicity in the healing journey.